Hi Peoria, how you doing? Excellent, excellent. Thanks for coming out. So I'm Dr. Eric Wesselman. I'm a psychology professor and full-time nerd. I love having cool conversations.
I'm a full-time nerd too.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're all in the right place. So here we're going to talk with Lizzie Freeman, voice actor known for various video game and anime series such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Licorice Recoil, and Genshin Impact. Recent work in the TV series The Amazing Digital Circus. So please help me welcome Lizzie.
Thank you guys. It's my pleasure to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So I got a couple of questions here to warm up, and then we'll turn it over to the audience.
Sounds good.
So the first question is, what's your origin story? How did you get started in voice acting?
Oh gosh, well, originally I wanted to be an animator. When I was in elementary school and middle school, I would draw all the time. It was my way to stim and pay attention in class, as I would doodle, and my teachers would get mad at me because they think I wasn't listening, but in reality, the drawing helped me pay attention. But as I got older, I realized I got artist block really, really easily. And it was, I think it was 9th grade where I was convinced to audition for the school play, Les Miserables. I was beggar number 12. And it was a really fun show, even though I was just in the ensemble. It was amazing, just an amazing experience, and I realized I loved performing and acting. And somewhere along the line, while I was doing theater in high school, it dawned on me that the cartoons I loved watching, the voices I heard, those were professional actors. And it was just very appealing to me because A, I still loved the animation industry and I wanted to be a part of it somehow, and B, voice actors get to live pretty normal lives. We can go to the grocery store. I still have yet to be recognized in public somehow. I don't know. My other colleagues have had that experience. I have not. And I like it that way. It's cool to come to shows and meet fans, but I like that my day-to-day life, I get to live like a normal person, and it's really cool. So that's just how it started. I kept doing theater. I studied some theater in college. I did improv. I was part of the improv club at my university for a couple years. I worked in entertainment at the Disney parks. You could say I was friends with Mickey Mouse. That's code for I played Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. And eventually I made my way to LA and tried to make it for real. And somehow it worked out.
Excellent, excellent. So you've both voice acted and acted physically, live action, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. How do those two compare? How do you approach them?
Very, very different, because when it comes to theater, you have to be very conscious of what you're doing with your body, the way you present, and your body language, and you have to remember your blocking. And I also find it funny that the only lead role I ever got in a theater production was Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker. Yeah. And also, when I was Mickey Mouse, I couldn't talk. So it was very, very interesting that that's how I started, and yet now I work exclusively with my voice.
Okay. So you do a lot of particularly anime properties. Do you naturally gravitate towards those, or is those just the ones that happen to come your way?
It's mostly, those are just the ones that happen to come my way. I think it's because I have a very good voice for the kind of anime sound, so it just works for it.
Did you watch much anime before getting the gigs?
I did. I'm more into Western animation, but I did watch a lot of anime. Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, even some not as popular ones. Azumanga Daioh, if anyone knows that one. It's a good show from the early 2000s.
So what are just a couple favorite characters that you have?
Okay, so I like to say my favorite anime character I play that caught me off guard, is Chisato from Licorice Recoil. I like to say Chisato is who I strive to be like, but I am actually Pomni. And Pomni has a special place in my heart because the themes of the show resonate with me a lot, and I'm enjoying exploring that with her.
Excellent, excellent. So I've got a couple that we can riff on later, but I want to give the audience a chance to ask you some questions too.
Sounds
so
good.
Do we have a question there? Okay.
So what was your experience like when you first started out like voice acting Pomni?
When I first started voice acting Pomni, all I had was a script, and Goose was in a Goose directs us, actually. She's the voice director as well. So I'll join her in a Discord call and we'll go through the episode. And at the beginning, it was just like any other normal thing. None of us realized it was going to blow up the way it did. So it was just this fun, oh, hi, Goose. Yeah, so today we're working on the first episode. Yeah, and this is what happens. Okay, cool. And then the episode came out, and next thing I know, it had like 300 million views. So it's been a journey, that's for sure.
Excellent, excellent.
I like your shirt. That's awesome.
Which one's your favorite episode of voice acting?
Like of anything I've worked on?
But go ahead.
All right, are there any JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fans in here? Okay, the body swap episode. Yes. It's so fun.
All right. What?
Do you love your fans?
I do. My fans are so, like, some of the sweetest people in the world, and I love that I get to come meet you guys at these conventions.
Looks like Taking Beef is a drum spinner.
Cinema Roll, he's my favorite Sanrio character.
So, besides Pomni, who's your favorite from the Amazing Visual Circus?
Whoa.
It's a toss-up between Gangle and Ragatha.
Over there.
I like the nice ones. I just want Gangle to be happy.
There we go. You are touching the red square.
Yes.
Are you okay in that position where you are? No. All right, in the red square.
Do you need some, like, sort of college experience with theater to be, like, a voice actor?
I don't think it's necessary, as long as you build up your acting skills and you are a good actor. That's the most important part. However you get there, everybody's journey is different and everybody's journey is valid.
One, fight, robots, fight! Plenty of high speed for both of these robots. If we are able to get the drum to that very specific design, we have got a plastic.
We got you.
When you had art block, do you have any ways you got out of it?
You know, I wish I could answer that, but that is why I'm not a professional artist. Because I've not been able to figure it out. I'm so sorry.
Goggles.
It does not count as a pin. It just, they got their own little
Oh,
stick.
if I'm right about this, what's it like to voice Maggie from SMP4?
Maggie was a lot of fun. I don't voice her currently, just to be clear. I stopped about 2 years ago. But I really had a lot of fun with the live streams. Those took a lot of research and studying. I really tried to do a good job in those live streams and stay true to the character. So I hope you guys had fun with them. And she was an absolute joy. Oh, hi Bennett. Oh, wait, I want to ask you, is that okay?
That is controlled into the corner with a pin in 10, 9, 8,
How does it feel that just randomly your show blew up and all these people like Lanky Box, Hornstomp, and Max's iPro just started parodying the show? I think it is a testament to how much people enjoy it. And I think that if you think of it that way, that's pretty cool. But I wish they would stop.
kind of slight damage here to Taking Beef due to the stall of synthetic wood.
I just want to know.
I think both weapons
You
are
can
still
sing,
functional. I think
you
the
can
stall will
act,
be
you can draw, but if there was one thing you really want to do in the world, what would it be?
Taking Beef with another control move into the
I'm sorry, I just have that scene from Miss Congeniality going through my head. World peace. Okay, but real talk. I want to foster cats. One day when I have a big enough place and I'm not going to as many conventions, I would love to do that.
Waking Nightmare. Where are you guys?
Hi there, I'd like to hear what your favorite fandoms are. Any shows, movies, games?
Okay, you're gonna laugh at me. Anybody remember the Brony fandom? Yes, I was very, very big in that like 10 years ago. I just love Western animation in general, so if any show starts to blow up, like Gravity Falls, I was really into that, and I watched all the Fury videos. What else? I just love 90s animation. If there's a fandom for that, I would be in it. I've been watching Dexter's Laboratory again recently. We just bought the whole series on DVD because physical media. Also, other fandoms. I don't know. Disney, I guess. Anime. I just like a lot of animation. Animation fandom.
Have you been watching X-Men '97?
I have not watched it yet. No.
Okay, well you should.
Okay.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
You should watch Dungeons and Dragons as well.
I like your hat.
Do you still watch SMD4?
I need all the drivers in this area if I can get
That's so
that real quick.
jarring.
All of the drivers to the
Whenever people tell me something interesting happened, I'll tune in, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm very behind on most content because there's just a huge content overload and I cannot keep up. I don't watch most of the anime I'm in because I just can't keep up.
wait for deliberation here. You'll be on Final Dance for a month.
So I was just wondering, since you're the voice of Yanfei in Genshin, do you actually play Genshin? And do you play as Yanfei?
Okay, so I played for about 20 minutes, and when I tried to pull Yanfei and didn't get her, I was very mad, so I gave up. I want to play Honkai Star Rail though, because I'm into turn-based RPGs. I'm not as much into open world games.
Who's your favorite JoJo character? Oh, Joestar.
My favorite Joestar? Joseph.
Hey Jeremiah. Hey,
Joseph
Ty, real quick,
Joestar.
Can I get your drivers over here? Real quick. All right, guys. Hey, real quick. We got one.
Okay, what's an anime that you just want to be in? Like, there's one that you just have to be in, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay, if they were ever to remake Azumanga Daioh, I'd want to be in that. I just thought of one actually. Who remembers Mermaid Melody? Mermaid Melody? Nobody? It's about magical mermaids who also sing and they have magical powers. It's magical girl anime. It never got dubbed into English. And I heard rumors that they might be making a reboot, and I'm like, well, dub the reboot and let me be a mermaid. Please. We'll see. I hope they let me audition.
Did you ever watch My Hero Academy?
I've seen a few episodes, yes. It's a really cool show.
What's your favorite character in Genshin Impact?
I mean, am I allowed to be biased? Yanfei? I also like Hu Tao. She's really fun.
What was your favorite part, like the most funniest part in TADC?
Okay, well, I think one of my favorite moments is when Pomni is like stretched out between the two cars, and then Kinger goes, "Hey, Pomni, take this!" And then it hits her on the head, and she goes, "Eek."
I'm going to interject a question real quick. So you talked earlier about characters who you felt were most like you and those that you felt you wanted to be, right? What are some characters or some performances you felt particularly challenging, and how did you adapt?
Okay, so there's a few that come to mind. Trish from JoJo is actually one that the entire time we were working on the first episode, I was convinced they were going to recast me. Because I usually play the very youthful, bubbly characters, and Trish is more, she's kind of down here, very serious, and almost the femme fatale of the group, which isn't an archetype I play very often, so that was very intimidating for me. But the director, Tony Oliver, is amazing at his job, and he made me feel at home, and it just helped the process a lot. He knew how to articulate what he needed from the character, and he's just awesome to work with.
Goggles. Steampunk goggles?
You said you watched Theories. Did you ever watch MatPat?
Yes. Yes, and I like his digital circus theory. I think there's merit to it. I think Cooking Mama in the back has had a question for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're welcome. I like your purse.
When did you figure out that you could kind of voice act and get into it?
If I remember growing up, I always kind of mimicked what I heard in media. I always quoted shows and be like, yeah, my favorite part is blah, 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 all the time. That's just what my family did. So it... It's all good. When I got into theater, it just kind of helped me figure out how to channel my energy into those impressions I did and to actually have a controlled acting experience, I guess. I don't know how to articulate that better, but...
Do you have a sort of a regular practice routine that you do?
A lot of tongue twisters. I have these singing warm-ups I like to look up on YouTube to help me get ready. There's this one YouTuber, her name's Cheryl Porter, and her singing warm-ups are just so fun. She's very bubbly, and let's see. Also a lot of just those type of things. So I'll do that for like 10-15 minutes before I go off to a recording session, and that usually will be enough to help me get warmed up. My bangs do not want to stay out of my face.
Purple suit and a white face mask.
So, how's episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus going? Are you getting along with the cast well?
The cast is amazing. I've met most of them at this point. The only one I've not met yet is Ashley, who's the voice of Zooble, but I'll meet her later this year. And I'm not sure how far along episode 3 is yet, but we recorded it a while ago, so we'll see what happens.
White hat.
Yes, of course. Alright,
So even though like they don't see your face when you're voice acting, do you ever get nervous like voicing the parts?
Oh yes, I still get nervous sometimes. Mostly whenever I go in to record a new character for the first time, that's when the nerves kick in, because it's like starting from one again. In particular, when I worked on Sword Art Online, that was my very first anime I ever recorded for. So when I went to the studio for the first time and we worked on the episode my character was in, I locked my knees so hard that by the time we finally went on break, back here was completely sore on both of my legs. Just because from how, I'm honestly surprised I didn't pass out. But do not lock your knees in the booth.
So I talked to some different voice actors, and some of them approach, moving their bodies and using their bodies differently. How do you approach voice acting in terms of moving?
Well, you gotta stay like on the mic, so you can't like do all this crazy stuff. It's mostly in the arms, I find. I don't know what this is.
But it works.
It works. Whatever you gotta do. I don't think about what I look like. I just do what my body feels like is natural, and it'll come through in my voice.
Okay. Given that you just kind of have your voice as the primary instrument, do you feel like you have to sort of dial up acting, dial back? How does that?
It depends on the tone for the project. Some of them really want grounded realism. Like if I'm dubbing live action, it's gonna be very nuanced and low key. But like for anime or animation, yes, it's gonna be amped up. It just all depends on what the comedy is like and the pacing and everything like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Who do you think is going to be the last one to abstract?
The last one? I don't think Kinger is ever going to abstract. He's just lost in his own little world.
He's immortal!
Yeah.
He has the... Okay.
They're gonna be there till the sun burns out.
Take care.
your winner, Lizzy!
Who was the first character you ever voiced?
So it's from this old indie game called Dust and Elysian Tale, if anyone's ever heard of that. You have? Okay. Yes, that was my first ever voiceover gig. It's came out in 2012 on the Xbox Live Arcade, and I play a character named Bopo, and that's how it started. The voice director for that was Devin Mack, if you guys know him. He's the voice of Sonic in Sonic Prime on Netflix, and he's been my mentor for like the past 10 years. He's awesome.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah.
Do you you have any projects on the horizon that you're allowed to talk about that we should look out for?
Well, speaking of Horizon, if you guys have been watching Pokemon Horizons on Netflix, I play Coral. She's part of the Explorers. She's the evil little gremlin with pink hair. And we've been actively working on that. And I believe the next batch of episodes are supposed to come out in August. I think that was just announced, so keep an eye out for that.
I think we have time for one more question. Yeah. Batman shirt.
That's an awesome shirt.
If you, you said you watched My Little Pony, correct?
I did.
What's your favorite character, like, including all the side characters, not just the main six?
Well, I'm gonna have to pick from the main six for my favorite, and that would be Pinkie Pie. I also really liked Sweetie Belle and Derby Hooves. So those are some of my favorites. I'm also a bit of a fan of Granny Smith.
Besides your voice acting work, there are other types of projects that you're working on that you like to let people know about? Podcasts, anything like that?
There's a lot of music that's been coming out, fan music related to Digital Circus that you guys should check out. We've been working really hard on some tracks. For example, Jester by Black Griffin, Digital Hallucinations by Oreo, and Self-Control by Mike Gino. That was beautiful, thank you for the validation. And a lot of those songs have the cast from the show singing in them, and if you listen to them on Spotify, we get that nice little royalty split, so I would appreciate that.
Excellent, and where can we find you on social media?
I'm on the Twitters at Lizzie R. Freeman, and Instagram at Lizzie_Freeman_VA, because I did not have the forethought to make all of the usernames match.
I feel you there. So, well, Lizzie, thank you very much for joining us, and you're going to be here all weekend?
I will.
Okay, since your table's back there, I know you're going to be on break a bit, you'll be back at 2?
I guess so.
Okay, I think that's
if that's what's on the schedule.
Okay, so
yes.
whatever it says on the sign. So
yes.
you'll be able to meet Lizzie at the table.
Yes.
And thank you all for joining us and for coming to the con. Have a great rest of the time.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.